No sparrows. Flipping. Okay, there we go. There's the waves, and there's no fast travel point. Walls. Whoa. I'm gonna fall off the edge. I'm not careful.
I'm forced to take some far outside the ring.
Yeah, this is good. Almost there. This tiny holes? No. Alright.
Fire, right side!
Yeah, this is the last fucking we gotta do. Yep. Go down the hole! The hole I just jumped through! Hey! Huh?
Behind you, brother!
Fuck. He's facing it too. I should go right down this one. And then all you have to do after this is go and then exit. Where did you go? You go down the hole, you'll straight. You get lost in a straight line. You're completely invisible. You were just a floating name with a little fishing above your head. This is what we're supposed to be. Gate open.
It's pretty sweet. Probably gonna regret this entirely though.
What are you doing, Matthew?
I'm on Muspelheim. What? No. No, I'm saving that to the end of the game. This is New Game Plus and I have it on hard. There's no way even I'm gonna even... no. No.
My
hands are so sweaty I can barely grip the ball.
No, not even... Not even... I actually am checking it every single day, making sure I'm not putting too much pressure on it. Because for some reason the newer controllers, they're splaying outwards. Like the case itself, it's bending out on the sides, you know, where you put your hands at. On all my controllers, it's been doing that lately. And I don't ever remember their quality of controllers being so, like, fragile.
It could also be the pressure. I mean, mine's fine.
Well, this one's not doing it. That's because I'm making sure, you know, I'm not putting too much pressure on pushing in. Because I started noticing that, but I still, on the other controllers, I never noticed it did that, ever.
Found the next sword.
There's a ship. There's a ship. At least.
Defeat 100 enemies.
Oh, you meant the boy, of course.
I guess so. Alright, the boss is over here. I almost fell down in the same thing. I guess. Bye! I can't revive you from me! You're in the ground! You're in the ground! Then grab this, and then go to the rest another time. Then go to bed.
Left side, brother, more of them.
Happy to. Nothing wrong with it. So, we can get you higher level gear. Yeah, but I could, if I was on going out of the way. If you want to, alright, but just putting a we just gotta get you to Dreaming City. After Dreaming City, I'm sure it doesn't require like a couple of weeks to be caught up. You don't have long until Blizzard Wild comes out.
Go behind you, brother.
Yep. What's going on, Ashley?
I gotta go pee.
Oh, I didn't need to know that. Oh, like how Sanga's doing.
Oh, he's asleep. He's fine. He said that he needed to take a break because it was making him upset, so he went to bed.
I understand. I understand. I don't want him to break anything.
No, he's got much better. Alright, I'll be back.
Alright.
Look out! Ain't yet.
You know. What?
I was getting worried about tomorrow, so I took another one of my pills.
Oh.
Tell me when.
Say that again?
And it's like Xanax, but not Xanax.
Mm.
So in order to keep me calm, I got this I hate needles, so
I think it'll be fine. Yes. Say that again?
I'm terrible with needles.
You'll do just fine. Oh my gosh.
Well, tomorrow's not the one that's going to those ones I'm better with, and Sky's been going with me. Get too long, get in, get out. About the whole thing, but you're going in for surgery, it's kind of expected to be a little nervous.
But you're not going for surgery tomorrow, though.
No, not tomorrow. It's just blood work. I just hate needles. I'm not as bad as it would be. But I hate needles, but this one's not the worst kind, so I'm not going through this. I'm just like straight needles. Lovely, I hate them. Type of feeling. I don't know when the surgery's gonna be, neither does the doctor just yet, because we don't have a doctor or a surgeon that works with my insurance quite yet. We have to find one, get me in to go see them, to get a consultation, all that stuff. But it is in my house.
So, in Arc, that idea I had, it'll be better if we use that for the smaller teams. You know what I mean?
Like the, is Megalodon still too big, or?
Yeah, they're too big. My idea was good. It's still good. You can use it to, like, store. It could be like a small breeding area. It could be the breeding area, honestly. Well, they don't have to be put on wandering now, right?
No.
It's nice.
They don't need to be on wandering anymore.
Oh.
Which I'm quite happy about.
Well, we can use that for breeding to keep the young safe.
Oh, a nursery area.
It's like an underwater nursery, yeah. I think that's what I feel like using it as. Because it makes sense for it to be that, honestly. It's small. We could put storage bins in there, we could feed them. It's perfect size. And then we can build the pen for the adults somewhere else. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but because the trapdoor thing does work. I think the biggest thing you could stick in that giant trapdoor is a Dunkletus. That's the biggest thing. So what are you doing now?
I'm just building stuff in Minecraft for the time being. I'm slightly tired, so I'm just doing this.
I don't think I said it, but I'm Destiny'd out. I'm ready for Anthem.
Couple more days.
It's actually only like one. Because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night I pick up my copy. And I can start playing it that night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So technically I get to play it before you do.
Even though I have a digital download?
Yeah, because I pre-ordered it.
I did too.
Look it up real fast. I'm actually curious. I think it's because I'm actually picking up a physical copy.
Well, yours won't have to download then, really, because mine will have to download. So depending on the size, then yeah.
I know I'm gonna have to make room, so I'm gonna have to leave a game or two. And then next week I'm gonna go job hunt. But
Definitely still put in for...
no, I'm gonna put in for 7-Up because I want to do something different, and I think I'll like that. I'll be moving, I'll be seeing different things, I won't be doing the same thing over and over. Like, I know it's still kind of the same thing over and over, but I'll be driving, you know, like going from place to place.
And your gas mileage, once every month will be repaid. So you'll have one paycheck that's a bit bigger than the other because of that.
So, I mean, it's nice. I think it'll be nice. A nice change. But I first have to go to church next week. That's the first step. Second step, job hunt. I am gonna definitely put in for 7-Up.
Put Sky down as a recommendation for sure.
Yep. Are you tired of Destiny?
Yeah, and nah. I mean, I've just started getting the hang of some other stuff. or noticing it myself at least. I mean, I'm ready for Desert's Wild and all that stuff. The new stuff is kind of meh. The new stuff that we've been having that's now old or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just tired.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do in September.
They have to do something, and it has to be big.
Well, they might do another season pass or something like that, or annual pass.
If they do that, they're idiots and they don't care about this game, and they're just gonna kill it.
Or they're gonna do one big huge story expansion like Taken King.
They need to. This nonchalant, no story stuff for Destiny, it can't continue. There's no content. If you don't even put a story in there, the content that you have is going to be burned up super fast. And triumphs don't count as content, because it would be one thing if there is this exclusive armor set with exclusive perks that you can only get through a title and a weapon. That would be different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would be different. But they don't even have that. Bungie's just, they're dumb. I mean, they don't listen to their player base, and the player base that they do listen to don't even know their head from their hat, don't even know what a true game is, because they're trying to make it MMO. It needs to be an MMO, sure, but they're trying to make it like World of Warcraft. It's not going to be World. It's not.
It can't be. That's not what it is.
And most of these guys come from World of Warcraft.
They want World of Warcraft, they should have just stayed there.
But on top of that, I'm sick and tired of these YouTubers. I don't even listen to them anymore, unless they have something intelligible to say that talks about the game itself.
Kind of like Bite.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of like him. I'm just sick and tired of YouTubers. Like Sweatstickle. I think he's an idiot. It's probably bad for me to say this, but I think he's a straight up idiot. I've watched some of his streams, and the stuff he does is just... They're kids. And they're being... You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many raids they have done. I don't care how many speedruns they have done. I don't care about any of that. I'm done with the pointless grind that gives you nothing. I'm done with the taking advantage of the time that I'm putting in and making it harder to level up, when that's not the problem. The problem is endgame. That is the problem. It is content. Destiny 2 people are content starved. PvP now has no endgame content. What are we gonna do? Take away PvE stuff next?
And then if they do that, their game's gonna be dead. And since they've lost a lot of backing after this, it's all on them. Sure, we can go with EA, like their plan to try to grab more money with the tiny annual passes and making people pay little by little if they're checking it. We can blame that on them. But after this is over, they gotta show that they didn't like that plan either.
They have to put... Apparently EA... Not EA, apparently, who were they partnered with? My brain's not working. Not EA.
Activision.
Activision. Apparently Activision wanted...
Activision has EA, so...
Apparently Activision wanted to drop them to begin with.
Yeah, because they said that their financial stuff was not what they were expecting. They were expecting more, like, G1 type of...
No,
success.
the plans that they were having in the future, they said they were planning on dropping them. It was in a Forbes magazine.
Because what they said originally also was that the financial backing was underwhelming for them as well.
No, there was a Forbes article that had talked about what Bungie's plans were with D2, and Activision wanted to drop out after that. There's a whole Forbes article about it. J-Man was talking to me about it. I know people are tired of bashing Destiny, but it's like, dude, I mean, it's like, how much of an idiot can you freaking be? It's not hard to understand that we want story content, cinematics. We want to interact with the lore, not just freaking read about it.
Yes, you can have demo cards for people who want to hunt it, but you also need to show it.
I need to be able to interact with these concepts in the game, and that's what Bungie's not getting. Bungie's not getting that. Their game is stale. This is old tech. It is not even funny. We live in a video game era where there's day and night cycles, where there's seasons. There's things that change. The game changes and changes along with it. I mean, this is just, I'm Destiny burnt. Not burnt out, but I'm tired of Bungie. I'm tired of Destiny with this same old pointless grind to, what, 700 for what? What's the point to get to 700? What's the reason? What's the candy? What's the chase? What's the goal? There's no goal. There ain't even a raid. So what's the point? All I'm saying is they're gonna have to convince me in September. I'm not just gonna go buy it just because everybody else is. They're gonna have to convince me, because I'm sick and tired of this.
Maybe release like a little free one, and then
no, they need to blow it out of the water. They need to do better than Taken King, better than anything I have before. They actually have to give us Sabbatoon's a big deal. That is a huge deal. That's just not a small little annual pass. If they do that, I might stop playing Destiny.
They're gonna have to show that they wanted things to change. In big time.
I put way too much time into this game. And for what? These try-hard PvP crybabies. These try-hard PvE crybabies. I heard comments like, a game can't last without PvP. Look at God of War. That was Game of the Year.
That's what Sky is saying about Anthem as well, that he can't see it being obsessed without a PvP aspect. I'm like,
that's
they don't need it. You don't need it.
You don't need PvP.
What's the point of going against other players? To show that you're better? You can show that you're better by beating records in games. You don't need PvP to prove a point. It's not like where you're getting a new souped up sports car just to see how much smaller your dick is compared to the other person.
It's PvP is essentially another avenue which they can put more goodies to keep a game afloat. Typically it's in multiplayer games that are online, but it is not the main bulk of the game. Sure, that's where
after that, people try to make money off of your game and start inputting bugs and cheating. And what's that going to do to your reputation?
That's my point, is people were saying, well, eventually they may put a PvP in Anthem. Anthem doesn't need PvP starting out to be a great game. They're already going to show that they're a great game by the sheer fact that what they're about to do. And there's a bunch of YouTubers saying this and that. That's why I said I'm done with YouTubers. I'm done. If J-Man talks about, oh, YouTubers, I'll say, I'm sorry, Jay, but I'm done with what YouTubers say. They don't know anything.
They
they're
put in their opinion to try to make the games for them.
As to Cross and maybe Houndish are probably the only reliable people that I could truly say that their information is trustworthy. Maybe even True Vanguard and Bife. Those are the only four that I would ever consistently put any stock to anything what they say. Glad I could care less about that dude. That dude is awful. Sweatstickle, that dude is a punk little kid that forgive me for bashing. It's not gossip or anything. I've watched his streams. I've watched the way he treats people. The dude straight teabags. I can't tell you, Ashley, when I sent that video about Bruce going nuts, that's truly what teabagging does to me. It pisses me off so much to the point that it's like, no.
I don't get why you need to do that. I mean, if you're with friends who do it, and you're like in a private match, and you're doing it to each other, that's a little different.
Even then, if someone...
it's not that good, but it's more, I'm more lax about that than it is with people you don't know, just to the point because you're angry, and you finally get a kill at them, or you see that their skill set's better, so you have to do that to try to think that you're better than them.
Sweatstickle, I saw his video of him getting... I think Not Forgotten or Lunas. He was straight carried. After someone died, he would make a motion with his mouse, with his mouse screen going up and down, pretty much mimicking teabagging. It's pathetic. All these big time YouTubers that are supposedly, and Bungie's going back, they don't, and they say they don't represent me. They represent that 1 to 2% of people. And if you look on my time for my profile, you'll see I'm in the top 2% for hours put into Destiny 2. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I consider myself a part of any of those people, because they don't even know how to build a game. They don't know how to build a game that lasts. Building a game only for the super elite literally will not pay anything.
If you want to build a game for elite, make a game mode where people can do it for certain game like competitions. Otherwise,
or varying difficulty. That's what the whole point of Prestiges was. Hard mode, night raids. Bungie doesn't know what they're doing. It's like they've forgotten everything they learned in D1. Everything. After how many years?
3 or 4.
Exactly. After 4 years, you're telling me you forgot everything. And you have this idiot named Luke Smith, and he still has his dang job, and he's in charge of making a Destiny 3. Really? Luke Smith his reputation as my eyes is permanently gone. I could give a rip what that guy says or does, because it makes me so angry knowing that the sheer fact that if I would have even made any mistake close to thousands of dollars, my butt would have been fired, and I would have been as white as grass. And it ain't white, it's brown and green. I would have been thrown out in the mud. This dude, really? He almost killed an entire game. It boggles my mind, and it makes me angry. That dude should be fired. I don't get why he needs to be a janitor. He'll never. So he ruined Destiny. Sure, Destiny 2's vanilla campaign was better.
The only thing that gave it hope was Forsaken.
Not even that. Look at Forsaken.
Yeah, it's not the best, so I said hope. Didn't say exact anything. It was just a glimmer of hope, but hope can be taken away.
Even what they did still didn't change the end game. They made it to where you couldn't get any exotics from Xur. They made it to where it was so hard to level up and it took so long it was ridiculous. So you tell me what's changed. And the end game, after you do everything, after you get to 600, there is no end game activity. None.
Nothing worth doing anyway.
No, the requirements for you to be... Okay, so you're 650 now. What is the raid at? 640, 650, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about some extra activity? They always had a hard mode in Destiny 1 that was 10 light levels above. Gave super specific loot that was super awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they've forgotten everything they've learned. I'm not asking for D1, but I'm not asking for a reskin of D1 to where it is. I want something better than both, and Bungie's not doing that. They're a bunch of grown men that are like children inside a multi-million-dollar company that
they want to make a game for people to be able to pretty much to pay others, force others to keep grinding it out for them to get other stuff instead of focusing on the ones that actually want things. Like we saw online, people don't want to deal with the hardcore PvPers, so they go for other people because they don't want that stress. They're going to cater to those who keep bringing them in more money and more revenue for their game instead of the ones who just run around the world exploring it. Because that's not what people stream. They stream them going after other people. They stream each other.
Let's see, that is okay. So somebody put this in perspective. Your player base that you should look after is your working class people, the people that are at the jobs, but it's your central class, your mid. All right, how do you please all three groups? Casual, I would say dedicated, and hardcore players. How do you
have to put a little bit of something in for everyone.
You make the game for the dedicated, but you put things in there for the casual and the hardcore. It's not hard. It's not science. People saying that, oh, you don't know how hard coding is and stuff like that. No, when it's a AAA game, my founder Zeofire said something. At this point, their excuses are null and valid because it's supposed to be a AAA game. At this point, the excuse is, oh, I'm sorry, we sent the astronauts up there, but we forgot that, we forgot this in there. Oh, my bad. You realize how that wouldn't go over very well at all. No. Matter of fact, there'd be lawsuits, and people would lose their jobs, right? No, not in gaming world, which is still a game, but it's still the same dang thing. You don't get an excuse for a game that you say is a AAA game, and oh, we messed up. Oh, pardon our dust, like Bungie always puts. Pardon our dust. I'm sick and tired of dust. I want a reason for me to buy whatever they're going to put out in September.
They just gotta step it up. They have
to. I've been doing this for a long time, Ashley, and I don't plan on sinking my entire life into a video game. So the time that I do put towards a hobby, such as gaming, it better be worth it, or else I'm gonna put it towards something else, because I only have a little bit of time left on this planet. We don't know when we're gonna go. We don't know when Jesus is gonna say, "Oh, it's time to go home, Matthew." I don't know that. You don't know when you're gonna die. You don't know when God says it's time. Then you have to meet Him. So Bungie also doesn't even realize that, and I don't even expect them to realize that. It's a worldly company. How could they? So yeah, I'm sitting here looking at a screen of God of War. I've been trying to find my fulfillment in games, and it's just not there, and I should never have tried, but luckily I realized what my problem was. I'm going to church this Sunday, but besides that, I am going to play Anthem. I had fun. That's why I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched any streams, anything. I haven't watched.
The only thing I've really seen is some clips of their live action clips, and it's amazing what they put into those live action clips.
Yeah, besides that, and the gameplay that I played, I have not seen anything. I have kept myself purposely in the dark, because when I put out my own review of the game, come playing through it, I'm gonna want my opinion to not be influenced by anybody else. I want it to be mine. Because what I've learned is opinions don't exactly necessarily mean as fact. So people say, "Oh, this is your opinion," that Bungie doesn't know what they're doing. No, it's fact because they clearly don't know what they're doing. Because after the 4 years of Destiny 1, where they've learned a lot, they revert right back to what they changed the game virtually, make it less complicated, just because somebody else doesn't understand it. And then yeah, no, they haven't learned anything. So. Just a bunch of big kids with a lot of money. That's all they are. And until they prove otherwise, that's exactly what my statement's going to be. Yeah, all a bunch of big kids with a lot of money. You haven't learned a dang thing. You haven't learned who your true player base is. It's the dedicated. It ain't the casual. It ain't the super elite either. It's the dedicated. The ones, the people that have been here. When the super elites left, guess who was here? The dedicated. Not the elites.
Who are the people who are still playing instead of throwing fits about trials? Who are the people who want to keep grinding and watching, hoping for your game to succeed, so that way they have something to do and your company can still have a good reputation? It's not even just for themselves. They trust your company. Why are you going to let somebody down?
Yeah, I don't know.
Trust is something easily broken, and if Bungie doesn't do something, what the people trust in is going to be gone. And what are they going to have left? A shell of a game that nobody's going to want to buy.